Go.
All right.
Call to order. It's 7 o'clock.
Wow.
May the 12th, 2015. Special council meeting. Approval of the agenda.
I'm in favor.
Second.
Motion.
I have
Motion?
2 items to add
Oh.
on the table. They're administrative updates to 2 bylaws, and the mayor will be here by the time we get to these, and he's aware they're coming to the table. The first is fees and charges amendment bylaw number 490.
So where do you want to put that on the?
We'll put that as I.
Aye.
Yeah.
Okay. Amendment.
Fees and charges amendment bylaw 490.
Okay.
And then item J is the amending bylaw notice enforcement, bylaw 492.
Okay.
And they're being put forward for 3 readings each today.
492.
I'm going to get you a glass of water. You're going to be thirsty in a few minutes.
Yeah. I already had a glass of water. Thank you. I appreciate the offer. Okay. Okay, so approval agenda. Again. All in favor?
Carried.
Carried. Public participation. Nobody. Great deal. New business.
All right.
2015 to 19 5-year financial plan. We've all seen this plan. I think we're all aware of it. Has anybody any issues with it at all?
So this hasn't changed since 3rd reading, so
No.
we're seeking adoption today.
Acting Mayor Hughes with motion forward to adopt.
Okay. Seconders? Seconders? All in favor? Passed. That was easy.
Is it officially adopted?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, moving on. The sewer rates amendment, 2015 bylaw number 46, adoption.
Again, has not changed since 3rd reading.
That's this one here. Yeah, this looks pretty familiar. Okay, so it will be, if we do this, it'll be adopted tonight. The date will change. Okay. Do we need to change that now before we?
No, we
no?
can't put the adopted date in there until it's adopted.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's good. Any discussion, Ron?
Nope.
Helen? Fred? Okay. Do we have a motion? Fred?
Second.
All in favor? Sewer parcel tax rates amendment 2015 bylaw number 487. So this is the parcel tax. Any issues? Everybody's good with it? We have a motion? Helen?
Yes.
Okay. Second? All in favor? Passed. Carried. Sorry. Bad language. Okay. Tax rates, 2015 bylaw number 488, again. I think we're all pretty familiar with this. I think we've had quite a bit of discussion. And Okay. Should I be tabling a motion to? No?
Doesn't matter
Rob?
who,
Would
yeah.
you? Okay.
Acting Mayor Hughes, I put forward the motion to adopt bylaw number 488, 2015.
Thank
Tax
you.
rates.
Seconder? All in favor? Adopted. Yeah, well, I think Carl was kind of hoping that there might be something left for him.
There might be, he has a spot on the agenda.
Yeah,
Acting Mayor Hughes, I hold the record for a 35-minute meeting.
there you go.
Maybe your only chance.
Okay, item E, the water parcel tax amendment, bylaw number 489. Again, we've all seen this. Can we have a motion? Seconders? All in favor? Carried. Item, any question? Sorry.
No, I
Go
was just
ahead.
looking at this
Oh,
one.
that's
and I was like,
okay, yeah,
wow.
no, yeah, there's a lot here. The outdoor water use bylaw number 484, third reading.
First reading?
No, third.
Third
Third
reading?
reading?
You did
This
two.
is third reading.
Do you want me to speak to this?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So this came forward at the last council meeting for first and second reading with the intention of reaching third at next week's regular council meeting, be adopted the first week of June. We brought it forward to the infrastructure committee last night with some changes that the mayor had recommended in the hopes of bringing it forward tonight for third adoption next week, so that it's actually live and active when the conservation measures would come into place on June 1st. So that's why it's here, is for third reading. The changes that were recommended by the mayor and endorsed by the infrastructure committee are all noted in the document. And the committee was recommending that this come forward for third reading the way it's presented.
There was pretty significant discussion on this one.
The sense of this I get is that, I'd like to say there's a lot of wordsmithing, but if I took out the word village and village water,
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah, that's right.
switching around of terms.
Okay.
Primarily.
so there's no, I don't see anything else that's got any meat to it.
No, most of them were aesthetic.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think we've gone for more clarity with any of the fixes. Nothing substantially changed.
No, there was a lot of language, wordsmithing, and things like that, that just made it read a lot better and made it flow easier, because it's a pretty significant document. We want to make sure that there are no misunderstandings about it.
So would page 32 of 56, is that the Coles note version of the bylaw? Is that the bylaw in?
No, those are the conservation levels.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when we're crafting some signs now that would be out in key points in the village with the color levels, 0 conservation, level 1, level 2, level 3. And that's what each of those means. So Nikki and I are working on a communication plan to deliver the information to residents. But that's the conservation levels within the bylaw.
The idea is that there will be signs up in certain locations in the village, and they'll be very clear and very, very easily seen, and they will clearly state what level of water conservation we're at the time. And the idea being that we have level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4, which we don't want to talk about. And so level 1 is just normal. That's pretty much, that's where we are right now.
Or you mean 0, don't you?
Or 0, sorry, yeah. that's
There's
right,
4
yeah.
levels, but they
4
start at
levels,
0.
0, that's right,
Yeah.
0. That's normal. And then level 1, we move to level 1 June 1st. And then we have measures and tools in place to determine at what point we move into the different levels from there.
Yeah. And that's really a testament to the infrastructure committee and the work that they did, particularly Greg Garland.
Oh, yeah,
Almost.
He
tremendous,
put
absolutely
a ton
tremendous.
of effort into this, yeah.
And the fire department is covered off on this, this would be page 32 of 58 on the bottom line, which is the flushing of water mains and hydrants. So when they do their practice, and, I mean, I don't know what they do.
You
in
mean
the
Public
prac-
Works?
I was thinking of the fire department.
The practice, their use of water during their practice times will be subject to the water restriction levels.
And where would it be in here?
Um,
And that's where I was thinking, because the only way they can, and I don't know this, the only way they fill the trucks is through hydrants, I presume.
Well, they've got a set up, they're in the process of setting up the filling. They're hoping to eventually to set up a fill site up top, aren't they, off one of the tanks?
They talked about it.
They
but
talked about, they haven't done it
made
yet.
progress on it
Okay,
yet.
all right, okay.
So how do they fill their tanks, or how do they not shoot off the hoses?
Yeah, I think we'd have to have fire in place, no matter what, fire coverage, so that the
Right.
trucks would have to be full.
I don't think.
Oh,
I
definitely.
was thinking of the testing and stuff like that. I mean, shooting hoses off and
Practice, any
Practice.
practice
Training.
during that time would have to be,
dry.
Maybe that's on a permit.
Okay.
they can
Yeah.
do it before.
Yeah.
That's what the permit process is for,
Okay.
is it not?
We can talk about that, the procedures around the permit process.
Yeah.
That we'll have to talk about a little more.
That's right.
But that's a procedure. That's independent of this. But I would say that falls under public use. That's, I mean,
The procedure bylaw group will look at the bylaw group will look at the procedure for developing a set of procedures that'll work for all that stuff. That's one of our next
All right,
tasks.
thank you.
Helen? Are you okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
so the motion would be that council passes third reading of outdoor water use bylaw number 484, 2015.
Second?
Mhm.
All in favor?
Yep.
Perfect.
There you go. Very good, Carl.
He was there last night.
Oh, yeah.
That
no,
wasn't
I
a
know. No,
surprise
I
to him,
know.
yeah.
That's fine, yeah, no, that's good. Okay, item G, the audited financial statements.
Pam, do you want to
Pam,
do a
do you
quick
wanna-
one on this?
So this is just kind of the next step of our May 5th Committee of the Whole, or Council Strategy Committee meeting, where Bill Cox from BDO, our auditors, presented the financial statements. And from that, Council, the next step is for Council to approve the financial statements. And that allows BDO to sign up with their official signature, and then we can submit them to the Ministry for our May 15th statutory deadline. So it's somewhat of a formality. Again, like the adoption, we've seen the financial statements have been presented, they've been audited, and this is just the formality of approving them, Council approving the financial statements. Which I believe is done by resolution.
Yes. And the recommended resolution is there on page 35.
Page 35.
Yep. So, recommendation that the Village of Lions Bay 2014 audit financial statements as presented to Council on May the 5th, 2015 be approved pursuant to the Community Charter, Section 167, and that the 2014 audited financial statements be included in the 2014 annual report pursuant to the Community Charter, Section 98. Can I have a motion? Seconder? All approved? Okay.
Might be a
Thank you.
record.
You're done.
Very smart.
Okay, so this is the mayor's piece, so perhaps we can just deviate from the agenda and come back to that
Okay.
when he gets here. Maybe we can skip over to I, which is fees and charges amendment bylaw, which is on the table here. And this is a spin-off from the outdoor water use bylaw being adopted. In order to charge a permit fee, we need to include that in our fees and charges bylaw. So this amendment bylaw would replace the current Schedule 2 with this new Schedule 2, which on the back has the lawn sprinkling permit.
This was a substantial part of our discussion last night.
Yeah. So the only change to the fees and charges bylaw will be replacing the schedule with this updated one, so that we can charge the fee. If we do 1, 2, and 3 readings tonight, we can adopt this next Tuesday with the water use bylaw. So everything's done in a blanket sweep.
Any comments, any thoughts?
Well, the background here is that the service that can be undertaken once the application is approved is still being decided on,
That's right.
so.
Yeah, that's exactly
It's just
right.
a monetary thing, so.
Yeah,
So is this the,
That's the only change.
that's the only change?
So this is the pay to play, but we haven't defined what the play looks like.
that's right. Everything is subject to approval. And so, there may be things that come up during the process that negate it. Anyway, so we have no control over that. So, the purchase of the permit doesn't necessarily mean, or the purpose of the issue is that if they ask for it and they don't get it, that's fine. That's the way it is.
Yes.
So, nothing we can do about that.
Right.
Okay. So, we'll run this for first, second, and third
Yes.
reading?
Be a motion to pass for second and third reading.
So, motion to pass for first, second, and third reading of the fees and charges amendment bylaw number 490. Second? All in favor?
Thank you. Next is very similar, although it's updated not just with the outdoor water use bylaw, and I'll explain that in just a second here. The primary change to this document, the reason we have to change this document is to enable our bylaw officer to issue tickets under the water use bylaw if it comes to that. So he can't issue any tickets or warnings if we haven't accounted for the fine scaling in this bylaw. So that's primarily why this is coming forward. And you'll see on page 8 of this bylaw, the outdoor water use fines are there. Those were discussed at great length last night in the infrastructure committee, and this is the scale that they came up with. When I was working through this document, I realized that a lot of the references to other bylaws on these fines had not been updated when the other bylaws had been updated. So for instance, on page 1, you'll see waste collection, the bylaw it needed a reference to 455 rather than 425. So there were a few administrative updates that needed to happen to this, just so we were referencing the correct bylaws. But that's the only change. Some of the reference points. None of the fines have changed.
Why are the fines so light?
Sorry?
Why are the fines so light?
I don't know how the fines are determined. The best I can see is that these are in line with what all the other municipalities are doing.
Oh, okay.
So I suspect that's under our bylaw adjudication agreement that we have with North Shore Bylaw Adjudication.
The piece on the outdoor water use bylaw is going to be a little bit different the way it's handled the first year. And so in fact, the fines are in place, it's ready to go, but whether they're applied or not, you know,
Yeah,
at this point in time, we may or we may not.
Yeah, we may use 2015 as a warning and education
Yeah.
piece, drawing people's attention to the fact that there is now a bylaw rather than issuing fines.
We're not in the business of finding people, finding residents, but if someone does break the rules and we have a problem with it, we have the ability to fine. Likely what will happen the first year is we may decide to go ahead and send a letter out saying, this is what the fine would be if you continue to do this.
Right, and in the, if what happens is we see we're having to send the same letters to the same people, week after week after week, then at least we have the fines in place to escalate that.
I think the Ron's point about the height, I think this was about a 15-minute discussion at the infrastructure meeting recently.
Yeah.
So it wasn't taken lightly.
Any other comments, discussion? Helen?
No, just looking at all the various,
Yeah.
it's like defecate on the
There's
How many
highway.
ways can I be fined?
Don't get caught for that.
Let's see.
But
that
I
would
didn't
be
know
all
you
on the
could
negative.
urinate either. I got to
Yeah.
tell Simon that.
Good old number
Just go outside the village limits.
Number 41321I. Yeah.
You know, there's a phobia where people are afraid to leave their houses. I wonder if this to do with bylaws.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing, so. Okay,
Actually, hang on one sec, because I've just noticed a typo.
Paige.
Okay, can we just do, because I don't anticipate writing any fines between now and 2 council meetings from now.
So
Can
we
we just
just-
do first and second reading, please, so I can have just one more look at this?
Okay, okay, so can we have a motion to, to pass the first and second reading for the amendment bylaw notice, enforcement bylaw number 492? Second, all in favor? Thank you, well done.
Thank you. I will make those updates.
Public questions and comments, no? We better wait for Carl.
Yeah, so we could
We can
take
just
a
recess for a minute.
recess.
Yeah, he'll be here, I would think, around 7:30.
Okay, so we'll say a 15-minute
goes
recess
the record.
potentially.
Well, I'm not done yet.
7:20 for recess.
Alrighty.
I'm sorry, but this is,
So we resume the meeting at 7:35 p.m.
and the Bear Smart Committee appointment has been postponed till the next, we'll put that, we'll bring that on the next, at the next meeting next week.
Perfect.
So that's a table,
Okay.
not a
Tabled,
agenda.
yeah.
That's a table on an agenda change.
So we need to do a tabling motion.
Yeah, okay, so can we table the Bear Smart Committee appointment until next week, next meeting? Seconder? All in favor? Done. Tabled. Okay, can we have a resolution to close the meeting? I guess I'll do that. Be it resolved, the Village of Alliance Bay Council does close the special council meeting of May the 12th, 2015 to the public, other matters to be considered. Under the following sections of the community charter, section 90.1, part of the council meeting may be closed to the public if the subject matter being considered relates to one or more of the following: labor relations or other employee relations.
Whoever. Good, that carries. So we reverted to the open meeting at 7:50 p.m. And council received a staffing update in the in-camera meeting.
Get a motion for adjournment? Second? Carried?
Done.
Closed.
Thank you.